Michael, hello. Nye McGee here with EURweb.com. Thank you for speaking with
Hi,
me. Hello. I had the pleasure of speaking with you for season one of House of David.
that's
So,
right.
yes, right? And of course, season two picks up right after David's epic battle with Goliath. So, my first question for you, sir, what can you tease about David's journey this season and how he has
Mm,
changed, if any, since we last saw him in season one?
yeah. Well, it's a very good question. We leave David in season one, kind of the first act of war that he takes against Goliath. But he's still a shepherd. He's still in his tunic. He's still in his sandals. He does not have a sword. And what we find in season two is that he really kind of evolves, and he becomes this man, this warrior that God has kind of called him to be, and how that affects everybody around him. This up and coming, this famous warrior now is creating a lot of political drama in the palace, if you will. So yeah, it's really a huge shift for everybody, but for David in particular, he's becoming a man now.
David now faces palace politics, like you just mentioned, family tension. So, how did you approach kind of portraying his growth as a leader under pressure?
Mm. Well, um, I always kind of rely on scripture and scripture's description of who David is, and he was very wise, but he was also a kid. And so what does that look like? What does it look like for a kid to be figuring himself out in a wise manner? And so a lot of it was just kind of in the moment, and bouncing off the other actors, and truly being present in every scene. And honestly, the writers of the show, John Irwin and John Gunn, did such an amazing job at exploring every character and every scene, and so it was a very easy job for me to portray him, and to tell his story, hopefully authentically.
And then, of course, season two explores a new romance for David. There's new
Mhm.
romance, the stakes are higher, there's jealousy and rivalries you're dealing with.
That's
So,
right.
of those dynamics, the jealousies, the rivalries, the palace politics, the romance, which dynamic was most challenging or exciting to play?
Hmm. I was really excited for the warrior part. In season one, everybody around me had swords. They all had armor. They all looked, super cool. And I was just out here in my little tunic, and I was like, man, I just want to be a warrior. I want to be with you guys. Very similar to how David felt in season one. And so I think I was just really excited to dive into all the action, and kind of this exploring this young boy truly finding himself and finding his voice, and finding his place as a commander. Um, yeah.
Now, speaking of the cast, and the cast dynamic and that energy, what's it been like collaborating with this mix of returning and new cast members? And how has that energy and the creative energy kind of shaped? How does that shape the onset
Mm,
atmosphere?
mm. Well, luckily everybody from first season, we're all honestly like a family, and everybody new from second season, they feel like they've always been a part of that family. So I think when we have that dynamic, it just allows for everybody to truly be free and to explore every part of their character, and all of us are there for each other. We're here to we're here not for ourselves, but we're here to tell the story to the best of our ability. So I think all of us kind of entered set with that mindset, and we were able to lift each other up as we filmed season two.
You just mentioned the warrior, wanting to kind of tap into more of that warrior side. So how do you
Mm.
prepare? I mean, last season we saw the battle, the David and Goliath battle, but how do you kind of prepare this season for prepare for scenes that combine, intense action with deep emotional conflict?
It's a great question. I put on 15 pounds between season one and season two, just to kind of fill up a little bit. And it's a minute difference, but it's kind of that slow, gradual growth of David. I grew out the scruff a tiny bit, And then also I worked with our stunt team, and on the hiatus I would kind of do fight choreo because I knew that obviously when it comes time, like the schedule is going to be very intense, so I have to be able to pick up um, stunt choreo on the spot. And oftentimes I was picking up, you know, stuff like an hour before, learning a brand new combo an hour before. Sometimes it would change 20 minutes before again. Sometimes there would be a move in the middle of fighting that we'd have to pick up. And so I had to prepare myself mentally, but also physically for that. So I worked with the stunt team. We would go every other day and sometimes every day. And we would just work and uh, hone every move in and make it look real and natural, so that when we're on set, we could just go and have fun. Honestly, we're very lucky that the fan response has been amazing, and the show resonates with so many people. And I mean, honestly, I'm a fan of the show. I would watch it if I wasn't in it. So, um, it was just so great to see so many people um, enjoy it, and it gives us another shot at a season two, and we were able to bring that to them. So, yeah, I'm very thankful for everyone who's watched and who will continue to watch.
Now, for viewers anticipating season two, is there a moment or storyline that you're most excited for audiences to see David confront?
Yeah, I think I'm really excited for them to see David's relationship with Jonathan. Biblically, David and Jonathan were the bestest of friends. They were brothers, and so I'm really excited for people to see that friendship come together, to see them grow in their brotherhood, and what their environment around them, causes. I don't want to spoil anything. Their friendship is really amazing, and I can't wait for people to see it. I mean, there's so many aspects to the story of David. I feel like there's so many lessons to be drawn from it. I would say one of the main themes is the heart. How much the heart plays into someone's character, how the heart truly um, makes a difference. Biblically, the main reason why David was chosen because of his heart. He had a heart after God, and Saul had a heart filled with pride, a heart that only focused on what other people thought of him. And so I hope that people find courage, um, to truly find their heart, to discover what it is to look at someone's heart and not at their outward appearance.